Wow. Thank you for coming, everybody. Thank you, Giovanna, for giving me the opportunity to talk. Oh, so many beautiful women make me a bit nervous. So. And beautiful men also. Thank you for coming. Give a round of applause for the men. Negotiation. How many of you think learning about negotiation is a complete waste of time? Oh. Nobody? But also, sometimes people say to me, well, I never negotiate. How many of you say, I never negotiate? Oh, that's great. Always. When you talk to somebody, and when you have a difficult conversation, or a very important conversation, it's always a negotiation. And life is a continuous negotiation. So, to have success in life, the great negotiators have better income, make better deals, and have better relationships. Because great negotiators, they manage to create a good collaboration and a good way of working together with people with very different values and very different interests. But they still manage to work together in harmony. So negotiation is may well be the number one skill in life, in business and personal life. How many of you have children? Are they great negotiators? So I've been making deals for more than 25 years. I've been making $1 million deals for large companies in construction, in manufacturing, and all other kinds of business. I make big deals every day of my life. So what I'm going to teach you the next 10, 12, 15 minutes is based on years of experience and based on in-depth study of the most important and the best negotiation skills like Harvard skills, FBI, hostage negotiation skills. How do you get a hostage taker within a few minutes to lay down his weapon and say, okay, let's talk? How do you do that? Okay, I'm going to tell you. But, okay. And then, the first what you have to do is 3 things. Because you have to realize that every conversation is a possible negotiation. So the most dangerous negotiation is the one you don't know you're in. And the other one knows he's negotiating, but you don't know. So you think it's a conversation. The other one thinks I'm negotiating. That is the most difficult. So realize, 3 things. First thing, realize that every important negotiation, every important conversation is a negotiation. The second one is relax. Don't be afraid to negotiate. A lot of people are scared to negotiate. So relax, enjoy it. And mentalize yourself, say to yourself, failure is almost never fatal. You can do it again, you can say no. You can say, well, this deal doesn't work for me right now, let's talk next week. So you can take your time. A lot of people want to hurry and they're scared to fail. Failure is almost never fatal. And the third one is follow a process. And again, what I want to say, very important, a lot of people think, well, I am too nice to negotiate. Most great negotiators I know are ridiculously nice people and caring people. And a lot of assertive people, they think they are good negotiators, but they're not, because they think about their own goals, what they want, and they don't put themselves in the shoes of the other person. They don't have the empathy to negotiate. So the third I said is follow the process. So the next few minutes, I'm going to teach you a 4-step process that will make you a great negotiator or better negotiator in 10 minutes. Who wants to be a better negotiator in 10 minutes? Okay, let's start. Four steps. Step number 1 is what I call I. A lot of people, they forget. First, you do this before the negotiation. You think, for example, you're driving in your car to a client and you take the mirror, the rearview mirror, and you look at yourself and what you say to yourself, what do I want? Please write down, because I'm not going to write down everything, but it's a simple process, but a lot of people, they don't do this process. They just go to a negotiation, they just do it, and they tell what they want, and they think that they're going to get what they want. But if you follow this 4-step process, you're going to be a lot more effective. And I'm not going to write anything down, and I don't have any slides, so please write down. First thing you do is ask yourself, before you enter into the conversation, what do I want? What do I need? What do I want? What do I need? And what do I feel? And what's my problem that I want to solve? What are my concerns? What are my experiences? Ask yourself and write it down. What do I want? Be clear of what you want and be clear of what you don't want. And very important, look in the mirror and say to yourself, well, why do I want it? Why do I deserve this? It makes you so much stronger if you say to yourself, well, I want at least 2,000 euros for this coaching job because I am the best coach in my field and I have 25 years of experience. It makes you stronger, more confident. And think about your plan, what I call your plan B. What do I do if I don't succeed, if the deal is not good enough for me? What will I do when I have to walk away? If you don't have a plan B, you're dependent on the other person. You're too eager. Think about, if you don't get the job, well, you say, well, I'll go on a holiday or a retreat for 1 week and think about my future. It's a good alternative. Relax, because if you're too eager again, you're not going to get the result you want. So, the first step, what do I want? What do I need? Why do I want it? Why do I deserve it? Think about it. Write it down. Why do you deserve it? And then think about your plan B. When you have that clear in your head, you can go to the next step. Any questions until now? Everything clear? The next step is very important, and a lot of people skip this. What do they want? A lot of people, they go. I do workshops with a lot of games and people, they just directly, they say, well, I need this, I need that, I want to solve this. But they don't ask the other person, well, what do you want? Tell me, what are your goals for the future? So what do they want? What do they need? And what do they feel? And of course, what is their plan B? Take your time to find out everything about the other person. Be genuinely curious about the other person. And when the other person feels that you are genuinely curious about him or her, they're going to relax. And people that are relaxed are 30% more smarter than when they're stressed. So they can think with you in solutions. So make them relax. If you listen to them and you ask the right questions, they will relax and they will tell you everything about themselves. And the more information you get about the other person, the better. Well, how do you do that? Anyone? How do you get to know everything about the other person? Asking questions. Again, listen. Very good. And where? Active listening. Where do you listen with? Your heart. Very good. Very good. Well, your ears, of course, but your eyes and your heart. But also with your eyes. Because a lot of time people say something and they mean something else. And you can see it. So listen also with your intuition. So you ask, of course. And a lot of people say, why? Why did you do that? Why did you deliver too late? Why didn't you comply with my request? Don't use why. And why not? It's a complaint, yeah. Defense, accusatory. When we were children, we broke an expensive vase. Our mother said, why? Why did you do that? Don't say why. Just say what. The best questions are what, how, and a very good question, open question is, how does the future for you look like? What are your plans for this year? How did you experience the last time we worked together? What happened what is the reason you delivered the goods too late? And a very good open question is, tell me about your future plans. And if they say to you, they explain what they want, tell me more. So, open questions. Listen with your eyes. But if you don't want to sound like a Russian KGB agent, don't ask too much questions. I always say, mix them with mirrors. These are FBI tactics, mirrors and labels. If you Google FBI tactics, very interesting. Just do it. Or on YouTube, they say mirror and labels. How do you do a mirror with somebody? You're talking to somebody. What is a mirror?
Mirror them. You copy them in their behavior.
You copy what they say. So, for example, they say, well, I have problems finding new clients. New clients? Just repeat a few words. And it's a very simple tactic, but it will keep them talking and talking. That's what you want. You want them to talk. You want you to listen and want them to talk. They say, well, my business partner betrayed me. And then you say, he betrayed you? It's that simple. And the other person, he goes on talking. And then also, if they catch you off guard, they say, well, your offer is ridiculous. You say, ridiculous? And then you wait. Because it gets you off guard. You're like, what do you mean? You just calm down. You say, ridiculous? And a label is very good when you see something, a dynamic in somebody. You see somebody say, you say, well, do you think, is this a great offer? And the other one says, yes. Ooh, my time is running out. You say yes. And then the other ones, but you see in their body language that they're not very happy. You say, well, it looks like we're not on the same level here. Or it looks like you're not really convinced. Labels, you say, it looks like, please write it down. A very label is when you see an emotion, you see something that doesn't really fit with what they say, you use a label. And the labels are, it feels like, it looks like, and it sounds like. It feels like we're not on the same, we're not really making a connection here. And then, 5 minutes is going to be a challenge. I want to do one exercise. The most important skill. Please find another person next to you. Make couples of two. Everybody, please. I have to make this quick, so I'll do it a quick version.
30 seconds.
The instruction. Please decide who is A and who is B. Quickly. A or B? Please decide in between. Who is A and who is B? Okay. The instruction. A, you ask to B and you say, well, say your name and you say, well, tell me what your plans are for 2024. And B, normally, you can use that, you can do that in the break, you can answer what it is, but now you don't do it. You stay quiet and you just look each other in the eyes until I say stop. So A says, tell me what are your plans for the future, and then you look each other into the eyes. Okay, are you ready? Yes. Go. And now, keep on going, keep looking. The trick is just relax. Don't stare, don't try to hypnotize the other person. Just look friendly, open posture, look friendly. Okay. Why did I do this exercise? Because the most important skill in negotiation is silence. Very good. Because what we do, we ask and we say, well, what is the reason you didn't like my offer? Is it too expensive? Didn't I answer your questions? Didn't I offer you what you're looking for? That's what we do. We ask a question, then we make it a multiple choice question. That is not an open question. An open question is, please, it looks like, it's a label, but I see a label as a question. I don't ask a lot of questions anymore. I label. I say, it looks like the offer doesn't answer the things you want or doesn't comply with what you're looking for. And what do you do then? You shut up. You shut the front door is what they say. You shut up. So, when you ask everything, you labeled, you mirrored, they told you everything they are looking for, their concerns, their wants, then you summarize. And you say, well, what I heard is that you want to do more business in coaching, but you still have a job and you don't have the time to look for new clients. So you're stuck with your job. You cannot start, you're not able to start with your new project. And the other one says, that's right. And when he says that's right, or she says that's right, then you know everything, and you have trust. So ask the questions, label, mirror, and then summarize. Then you go to number 3, and you go for the solution. And the solution, very good tactic, is one thing I always say, then you start to, you give and take. But very important, rule number 1 is never give something away without asking something back. If I do this for you, then will you do this for me? Another one is ask for permission to come with a solution. You say, are you against? You've heard everything. You heard the problems. You say, are you against me explaining to you what I think, how I think I can help you to solve your problem? And if they give you permission, they are going to listen. Because they just gave you permission. And people want to be consistent. So they gave you permission to say it, so they're going to listen. And the third one is what I call pacing and leading. Anybody has a horse here? Or do you have what do you do if the horse doesn't want to go the direction you want to go? You just steer? No. What you do normally is first you go with the horse to where the horse wants to go, and when the horse trusts you, then you take the horse to where you want to go. And that's the same with people. So first you say, how can we prevent you getting into trouble with your boss about your budget and still do business together? So first you name their problem or what they want, and then you say what you want. I have to keep it short. I'm sorry, but I can talk all day about negotiation. And the last one, so follow the steps. The last one is close. And closing means there are 3 types of yeses. Somebody says, oh yes, let's do that. One yes is when they say yes, and they say, well, I will say yes, then he or she shuts up, and then I can go on my own business again. Or they say yes, and they say, well, I like it, but they're not really committed. Or it is a commitment yes. And that's the last one is what you want. So how do you get a commitment yes? And I say there is no yes without a how. Always ask how after the yes. They say, well, are we going to work together? Yes, the other one says. Okay, how do you see that developing the next year? Or how are we going to be able to report the first results next week? When you ask a how after a yes, then you make them think, and they are going to be more committed. So, find out what you want, find out what they want. Very important, take the time for this. Find solution together, and then end with a how to close the deal and to make sure they are really committed. Any questions? Well, thank you very much.